So a viewer request video, and this is to answer the question, what are my thoughts on the Hyundai i20N as compared to the Suzuki Swift Sport? And why is it a question asked to me? Because I'm a long-term owner of Hothatches. I have had a lot, I think over 25 years of Hothatches is in here. And also I'm currently an owner of the Suzuki Swift Sport Hybrid, which is, in my opinion, a very nice hot hatch and is good to see in this comparison. And also drive a smaller coupe, which is the Hatsukopen 1.3, which is almost a warm hatch and had an apart 595C Turismo MTA with also tune. So to start with this question, both hot hatches are very nice. If you want to see the differences, stock, the Suzuki Swift Sport is more of a entry hot hatch, whereas the i20N is more of a higher stake hot hatch. So to compare, both would not stock would not be such a favorable attribute towards the Swift. But I will come back to this later because I like the Swift a lot more because I have one, you might say. But also I want to give you some reasons that might sway you. So first of all, it could be that the stock Swift Sport managed to keep up with the i20N, but a straight line performance i20N will be faster. The Swift might be able to catch up because it's superior in the weight department. So a little bit of the stats. The Swift Sport, even in hybrid form, is less than 1000 kilograms, whereas the i20N is 1190 kilograms. Suzuki Swift Sport is 99.5 kilograms, 995 kilograms, and the power dispersity is also there because the i20N has 200 horsepower and the Suzuki Swift Sport has 129 horsepower from its internal combustion engine and added a layer on top of that about 15 horsepower from its regular engine, the electric engine in the hybrid system. So together it's about 140, 145. For the quick calculator, you will be about 145 horsepower per 1000 kilograms in Swift stock and about 160-ish horsepower with i20N. So that's the biggest drawback. Both have the disc brakes all round, and of course the i20N has all components a little bit bigger because it's a faster car to begin with. The Swift, because it's so much lighter, can compensate for that because it has all that weight benefits there. Another thing to take into consideration is size-wise they are comparable. They're both in the Netherlands in the B segment. That being said, there are also some differences. Stock, in my opinion, both cars come with a nice body kit. It's a little bit of personal taste. But for my liking, I like the looks of the Swift Sport more than that of the i20N. I think the shape overall is more successful. And I can imagine if you want a more of a high-tech external look, you might be better off with the i20N. So take that into consideration. Also, if you look at the exhaust system, both have a nice exhaust system. The Swift looks nice, but i20N sounds nice, stock as well. So a lot more sound than other cars in this segment. Another thing to consider is that in the Netherlands, so the sound will be a lot better stock with the i20N, but I will give you some solutions. In the Netherlands, the i20N was never delivered because of, they say things like environmental factors that add a luxury tax. That way, the price of the i20N was so much higher than that of the Swift, and even same size as, for example, the Volkswagen Polo GTI. Volkswagen Polo GTI is also 200-ish horsepower. You also have the Fiesta ST, which is also the same amount of horsepower, and all have the same price segment. So at the time of buying my Swift, it would be about 7,000 and a bit more expensive than the Swift. So that's quite a big step. 7,500 ish euros, which would be about 30% more expensive. So that's to begin with. And then you have also 20% more heavier car to begin with, as mentioned. Um, of course, also a lot more power. That weight difference will make the Swift feel a lot faster. A lighter car will feel a lot faster than a heavy car because it's so agile, like a puppy wanting to go to play every time. Also because it's light, you will have this more lively thing, you will have a more frugal car, especially the Swift, because it has a 1.4 turbo, which is a little bit smaller than the 1.6 turbo of the I20N, and also it has a hybrid system in place. And you can also have other benefits because the power will help you to the straight lines, but the weight benefit will also help you braking and cornering and acceleration. And there are some power deficits. There is a difference about 55 horsepower, but that gap can be closed quite easily because there's a turbo engine. A stage 1 tune will see you about 170 horsepower from the ICE engine, and then you have an additional layer of 15 horsepower. So that will imply that you will have then about 25 horsepower per ton more in the Swift. So that will make that a faster car. Of course, you can also tune the I20N, but the thing is, it already has quite a lot of horsepower. Do you want to extend that even more? You're welcome to. Then you will see better gains, perhaps 230, 240, perhaps even 260 horsepower. So that will then diminish again the effect of this tune, and then the I20N will be faster still. But already you have to pay 30% more to begin with. And if you do that, you can also solve the problem with the exhaust by placing an AKS exhaust. It will also increase the exhaust. And the sound will add a little bit with the horsepower and pickup and torque, which will be marginally better, but also will decrease the weight, which is a lot lower, even lower. So then you have 6 kilograms, perhaps 7 kilograms less, and then you will be 989 kilograms, something like that. And that will be a full 200 kilograms lighter than the I20N. And that will set you back, if you want to do a stage 1 tune, AKS exhaust and lowering, you will set you back less than 2,000 euros. But to take that into consideration, you still have then 5,500 euros less in the invested to begin with. And even disregarding the other things involved, if you have to put a loan to get to the money, that will also, then you have to pay rent on that loan as well. Interest, so to say. There's another thing to take into consideration. So then you have a faster car, which is a lot more lively and nicer to live with all the time. If you will have 5 years of ownership, then you have 5,500 euros extra in your bank account. If you will add all the other things, because you will have lower cost in miles per gallon, so you have less fuel that you need. You have lower cost in road tax, you have lower cost in insurance, you have lower cost in parts and maintenance, and all in all that in 5 years time you will have a gap of about 13,000 euros. So it's about half of the initial cost of the Swift, because also the depreciation will be less because it's a cheaper car to begin with, and also there will be only a few available. So there's quite a niche market because the price is so high to begin with. It might be that they become a collector's item, depends on what will happen in the future. But as I see it, I think it will be quite hard because there are other cars, and also the I20N is not per se better than, for example, the Fiesta ST, which is also not a legend yet. And there's a lot more following. Also the Polo GTI is there to compete with, which offers a lot more luxury and perhaps even status. and you also have the likes of the Audi A1 and the Mini Cooper S to compete with. Also, the insurance is there with Suzuki, that they offer 6 years of complete warranty. Warranty on the Hyundai was at the time 3 years, so half. So it gives you also an indication of additional things to consider. So in a lifespan of 5 years, you will have a nicer ride to begin with, and 13,000 euros additional in your bank account. Not correcting for interest that you might be due, or the cost of opportunity lost if you invest your money in some place instead of another place. But that's something that to take into consideration. So even if you you will have in 5 years time half that car again to be bought. If you need another car, or you could, for example, use that 5,000 euros to invest in, for example, a motorcycle. You could have a very nice performance scooter, for example, by Aprilia for that price, with also a very nice exhaust system installed on top of that. So I also have that motorcycle, as you can see on my page. So that could also be a thing. And even the road tax and insurance, in addition to that, will still keep you under that price level that you would have with the I20N to begin with. So it depends on what you want. But I'm not dissing the I20N. I think it has a very nice color, especially I like that very bluish color, the baby blue or Smurf blue color, and I also like the exhaust system a lot. I think it's a good competitor for the Fiesta ST, but there were some tests also comparing Fiesta ST and the Mazda MX-5 2-liter with the Suzuki Swift Sport, and the Suzuki Swift Sport was fast on some tracks. So it is not a car to be discarded that easily. If you look at the raw numbers, of course, it will be lacking the raw power and horsepower, but it's also a lot lighter. And it's the halo car of Suzuki. Please don't forget that. Whereas, for example, for Hyundai, you still have the I30N on top of that, and now the electric cars that are far exceeding the performance markers of the I20N. So it's not their top of the bill car, whereas with Suzuki it is. Foundry car, out.